Hello, classmates. For this week's discussion, professional standards 7 and 8, which would be the positive learning environment and an academically challenging learning atmosphere. I think the first one, the positive learning environment, it's a very important standard because you can't really quantify a teacher's expectation, but you can see that within the lesson plan. You can see that within the verbal communications the teacher has with the student about the expectations, and just really the intention that the teacher has when expressing those expectations of their students. I think there are a lot of things that contribute to a positive learning atmosphere. It could be interpersonal relationships that the teachers have, understanding every child's idiosyncrasies, so they understand them, all the kids inside and out, being always organized and prepared. I think these factor student learning outcomes. I think in my short time as a teacher, what I've learned about making connection is just making small moments where a child can be seen, heard, and understood. And I know with a bigger classroom, with a bigger amount of students like I have, that can be hard, but it's important to make those little moments happen. I give them my undivided attention whenever a student is like sharing something important with me, or just whenever they're talking to me. I just make sure, I see you, I hear you, and I am clearly listening. I think I did it more in my second year. This is my second year of teaching, and I think I have more rapport with my students, and in turn, I think I have less classroom interruptions. There's still some, but I have less. And the children understand when it's time to teach. They understand it's time for them to learn, and I'm really glad we have that understanding. And they have respect for their education. In addition to that, I think I keep it pretty fair. Everyone knows my policies, my classroom rules aren't meant to attack anyone personally. And we also have that verbal and written agreement. An academically challenging environment is also very important to me. I hate to see that some kids who are ahead may feel bored or feel like they're not being challenged, and so they maybe drift off, or kids who aren't keeping up. Maybe some of them could feel discouraged because they're not keeping with the pack, they're not keeping up with their peers. And so I think I've incorporated much more data this year when I talk to the kids one-on-one, and I let them know their expectations. So they know their potential for growth is data-driven. It's not necessarily to keep up with everybody else, but to show them where they're at and where I expect them to be. And I think expressing to children a realistic but challenging goal and staying firm on that, I think it really translates to them, that my teacher cares. My teacher cares enough to show up every day. My teacher believes in me when I don't believe in myself academically, and they're going to be here to support me, and they're going to be consistent. So that often can lead them to perform better than they normally would, because they want to prove you right for believing in them. I think this also makes them more a pilot in their own learning. As far as academically challenging, in addition to that, I try to make it diverse enough. I try to make my lessons rich. I try to make it fun. Try to switch it up. We can compete, we could collaborate, we could create together. I think all these things make for a learning experience. After reviewing my checklist, I think my main area of focus would be the quality of my questioning and making every conversation beneficial for the student. My classes were on the larger side, and I think I found myself just trying to get through the lessons. So some small interactions with my students probably weren't as in-depth as they could be. And I think understanding with instinct and knowledge how to ask meaningful questions is an important skill to have. So I'm going to be working on the quality of my questioning. All right.